depending on your login, will determine the screen that you will see. So if you log in at customer level, you'll be presented with a map displaying the various locations under your customer. At the very top of the screen, you'll see the name of your customer, and clicking this drop down will display the hierarchical structure. So it'll display your company, any groups you created, and then any venues. And again, if those venues are in groups or not. And you'll notice next to each option is an impersonation level, so you can jump to that level again as long as your login does allow that. On the left hand side of the screen we have the flyout menu, so clicking the menu option will expand that area, and then you can access any of the available areas on the left hand side. Clicking the small X will then close the menu option. At the top of the screen on the right hand side we have the notification, as you can see, with a little green icon letting you know that there's a new notification within here. Clicking into here will expand, and then you can click mark as read and view as required. We also have the account management area. Clicking onto here will give you the help and support area, your account, any billing and purchasing, and the ability to set the language. So clicking on set language will display all our available languages which are currently supported. The help and support area, this will open up the support site, and from here lots and lots of information as well as the guides on all the available features. We also have my account, and within my account this will give you the information, allow you to link your social media to allow you to log in using those details. You can update the details we hold on the account for you and see what kind of access has been granted, and obviously the ability to change your password as required. Finally, the billing and purchasing. This will show you any transactions, so as you can see, income or expenditure. So if you have tier bandwidth turned on, for example, this will show you any funds that may well have come in from your customers purchasing access. And then finally you just had the revert to legacy, which will just revert you back to the old skin of the portal. Back onto the left, so every available feature within the portal is all accessible within here. Going back to the home page, as we saw the map previously, scrolling down will show you any venues and any users in the past 24 hours. And the ability to impersonate that venue as required. On this map as well, we can change this to be light, dark, street view, satellite view, or finally terrain. You can filter between online, offline, ones with no hardware, and if we jump views, for example if we jump into group view, shows you a map again, but it now only shows you a map of where your venues are located. As soon as you jump to a specific venue, then it reverts to the standard dashboard. And if I expand the menu, you can see here we're now defaulted into my dashboard. So rather than showing you a map, it's now showing you specific information. So on this standard dashboard, you can view the visit count. You can click this information tab here to view anything that's been amended to the report, so any alterations. So as you can see, this one is stacked and it's grouped by day, and there's no filters applied. Clicking the menu option, you can see you can open the report, or you can turn the legend on or off. Scrolling down then, you've got things like gender, age, new versus repeat, connection method, and hours of day. These are called widgets, and within a dashboard you can have up to 8 widgets. So you can have 2, 3, or you can have a full set of 8. Clicking the File menu, you can see we're in the standard dashboard. You have this little star next to it to let you know this is the default dashboard. And what you can do within my dashboards is you can create your own custom dashboards as required. Now once you do start to create them, have this manage dashboards area, and clicking into here, this will allow you to manage any dashboards you've created, create folders, and then drag and drop these dashboards into folders as required. So you can see at the moment we've got my dashboards. We have a folder created called System Templates, and then you have the standard dashboard. And as you can see, it tells you that there's been 6 out of the 8 widgets used. It's a standard template, and from here, as mentioned, we can open the dashboard and we can make it a default if it wasn't already. You've got the ability to create a new folder from here as well. So for example, we can call this one training, create new folder. The message at the top telling you it's successfully been created, and then as you can see at the top here now, we have this new folder. If I expand, currently no dashboards. You have the ability to be able to rename or delete as required. See here we have the drag handle, so you can drag the position of this folder if you have multiple available. So in order to add a report to this dashboard, we need to do this from within the analytics area. So if we click into analytics, I'm just going to select a network usage report. Once that loads, you can see at the top it's telling me I'm in the overall usage report. I'm currently viewing the overview. It's the last 30 days. Hovering over that button will give me the date range. It's currently grouped by day, but I can group this by hour, week, month or year. At the top here, we have the option to add this to my reports area, to add to my dashboard, as well as download as PDF and CSV. So this is where I would come to add this specific report to a widget within my dashboard. Now I can add it right now, or it could be that I want to make a number of alterations first. So I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is change it from the last 30 days. I'm going to change it to 7 days. And then click apply. The report will load. You can see now set in 7 days, and it's currently stacked. So I'm going to change this to be from stacked to split, and again click apply. So they now each have their own column, and it's currently just data usage, but I'm now going to also compare this by gender. So you can see we now have the data usage, so now broken down by the different genders. And again, I could add a filter, so I'm going to filter this also by age range, and I'm going to target the 25 to 34 year olds. Okay, so it's grouped by day, it's the last 7 days. We're comparing overall usage by gender and also filtering it by age range of 25 to 34 year olds. So 26% was between 25 and 34. They used 12.97 gigs worth of data. So it could be that I use this report, or I access this report on a daily basis. I have to apply these different changes. So I can do this. I can either add this to a specific report, so it saves the report in my reports area, or as mentioned, add it to a dashboard. So I'm going to add this report to a dashboard. So I'm going to select the menu option, click the add to dashboard, and from here you can see add to an existing dashboard. So because I've currently haven't got any created, I'm not able to do that. So I have to create a brand new dashboard. Need to give it a name. So I'm going to call this one the training dashboard. Now you can see here create a new folder, so I could create a brand new folder directly from here, but I have already created the folder, and as you can see it's here called training. But if I hadn't, I could turn this toggle on and create a brand new folder from here. But I'm just going to select the training option from the list below and select create new dashboard. As you can see, my dashboard has given me the name of the dashboard, so I can click into here and change the name as required. I can share the dashboard. So from here we have invite new users. So it could be I want to invite a particular colleague. So from here, type part of the name, the search will come up. We've got the share button, and this will then send an email to this user with the link to this particular dashboard, giving them the option to accept or decline. And on this right hand side, this will display any users that already have this shared with them. Now you can see it's put the widget in here. We've got this little icon at the bottom which will allow us to change the shape as required. On the top left we can change the position. So the drag and drop. And as you add more, you can obviously reshape them as required. Now from here as well, it's telling me overall usage by gender, total network usage for the last 7 days. Below, we've got the legend, the chart here. Information is telling me it's stacked, grouping, and it's got the report filter for age range 25 to 34-year-olds. Menu option will allow me to open up the report, toggle the legend on and off, delete it completely. But if I click open report, it then takes me to the analytics area with the same report. So again, I can change, let's say for example I want this grouping by week, and then I have the option at the top to save those changes, and they have now been saved to that widget. So what I'm going to do now is just add another report. So I've opened up the new versus repeat. I'm not going to make any alterations. I'm just going to click the menu, add to dashboard. You can see now I have add to existing because I've already created one now. Or again, I could create a brand new one as required. I'm going to add to existing. Because I have groups created, click into the group, there's my dashboard. And again, if I had more than one group, I could select the relevant group. And then once you've highlighted the dashboard, select add to dashboard. And then as you can see, the report appears. If I scroll up, there's my other report. So as mentioned, I could reposition this, change the size so that we're able to put both the reports next to each other and resize them as required. Clicking back into the menu option, you can see there we are within the folder training, and there's our dashboard, training dashboard. We still have the system templates, so the standard dashboard, and this one is still the default. So what we can do is go into manage dashboards, and if we expand all these areas, you can see there's my training dashboard. The drag handle will allow me to take it out of this folder if I wish. You can drop it into folders, and from here it tells you the ownership scope, when it was last edited and created. It's a custom template, and if it's been shared with any users. And the flyout menu will give you the option to open the dashboard, manage the sharing, delete it, and also make as default. So if I make this one as default, you can see the star has now changed from standard over to my dashboard. So every time you log into your portal, this will be the report that will load by default. So back onto the left then, you can see we've got other areas on here, and each one of these areas, there will be its own unique training course. So back onto this left hand side, each of these areas is covered with its own training material, so feel free to access this as needed. But the other option, very similar to my dashboard, is my reports. Clicking on here will expand the area. Any reports already saved will be displayed, but if it is the first time you're accessing, like we are today, you'll only have the option to manage my reports. So obviously there's nothing to manage at the moment, so we need to add a report into this area. So to do that, we need to go to the analytics. I'm going to expand that. You need to select your relevant report, so I'm going to choose network usage and click into it. The page will load, and from here you have all the general analytics information as we've seen in the analytics training, and you can apply any form of formatting you need to. So if you wanted to compare this with possibly gender, you can do that. So we have the different options available. You can add a filter as required, change the date range. So let's say we want this to be 7 days. So you can see the date updates. So the whole point of my reports is if you have to do this on a daily basis, or this is a regular occurrence, you can actually save this report so it's quicker and easier to access. So again, any form of filtering, changing date range, comparing information, all this will be saved. So to do this, we have the menu option at the top here. Save it to my reports area. So I'm going to click this option, and then the screen will come, and as you can see, add to my reports, save a custom report to my reports area. So the first thing you need to do is actually give it a name. So I'm going to call this one training. And you can see below, you've just got my reports area. But what you can also do is create a folder. So if you wanted to create numerous reports and then be able to pop them into different folders so they're easy to access at a later time, then you can do that. So to create a folder, you simply need to turn the toggle switch on. As you can see, you then get an option below to create a folder name. So I'm going to call these training reports. And as you can see, click Save Report. Screen will refresh, and at the top you can see your report has successfully been saved to my reports area. So technically what we're in now is we've moved away from the analytics and we're now within my reports. If I just close this message off at the top, you can see this by telling you here you're in my reports. It's called training. So you do have the pencil icon here. So you can click into here to change the name of the report at any point. You've still got the overall usage by gender, but we can click this and still change it to compare with other bits of information. Any changes we make to this report, we can obviously resave or reset it back to what we originally saved it as. In this drop down now, we have save a copy. So it could be that we've made slight tweaks to the report. We want to create a brand new one in the My Reports area. So we can easily save a copy of this report. We can still add this to the dashboard, download it as PDF or CSV. And we've also got the option to share the report. So if there's a report not only you access, but some of your colleagues, you're able to share this with them. So selecting the Share My Report option will come up, and you can see in here you've got Invite New Users, and on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side you have any users you've already created it with. So if there was any users created against your company, they will be listed in here so you can quite easily access them. And again, same principle for any that have been added. Now, I'm not going to share it with anyone today. I'm just going to say done. Clicking back onto there to save a copy, click the option, and again, same principle, you just need to give it a name. So I can call this one, say, Training 2. You could create an additional folder, but as you can see, you've already got the option in here. So I can either keep it under My Reports, or I can pop it into the new folder, Training Reports. So again, Save Report. Message will appear at the top, let you know it's been saved. Click the little small X to close that screen. And then now, if I click back onto the flyout menu, you'll notice this area is still expanded. We've now got a folder called Training Reports and 2 separate reports in here. Now, below there you do have Manage My Reports, so if I select that option, the screen will load. You can see at the very top, My Reports, and below that, then any folders you've created. And if you expand the folders, you can see any reports. Now, if you had a report that wasn't in a folder, then it would just be sat below the My Reports area. And you can see you've got little drag handles here, so you can change the order. You can take it out of a particular group or drop into a group as required. So once you hover over these little dots, it'll change to a hand icon that will allow you to move the report around. So from here it gives you the name, the ownership scope, last edited and created, and the fact that it's custom, and if it's been shared with any users. With the menu option, you can open up the report, manage sharing, so again take users away from sharing or add, and then just delete the report completely. From the Manage My Reports area, you still have the new folder option, so you can create folders from here. So let's say, for example, we'll call this one Marketing. Create new folder. And then as you can see, it just appears at the bottom. So again, you can then drag and drop up into this folder as required. If you need to delete a folder or rename, you have that option. And once you delete, are you sure you want to delete this folder? Any reports inside will also be lost. So you need to make sure that if you're wanting to get rid of a folder, make sure you want to keep the report, take the report out first, then go ahead and delete.